Alright, so I watched Inside Out 2, and with the sequel that we are back with the emotions and Riley as she is about to explore a new side of herself, and now that she's a teenager, and even with new emotions introduced, and like creating like this new side of her, and with so much drama that was felt, and even much deeper meaning in this movie, and there's so much more as well. And so this will be my full non spoiler review for Inside Out 2. Give you guys my thoughts and my impressions. Like especially for what I thought, as if like this had great storytelling to done with, especially as Riley's now a teenager, and just like for how I relate to this, and we all are, and so much more. And so if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so it's on any future videos. But now let's talk about it. And now, starting things off that with Inside Out, the first one that came out way back in 2015, and it had the tagline like the voices inside your head that were actually real. And even with that first movie, that touched upon like so many people of what they relate to in that film, and like it's like beloved by everyone. And now that like, it was confirmed to have a sequel, and like even like with that first movie that dealt with Riley in San Francisco, but now with the second movie, this is dealing with Riley now as a teenager, like dealing with a maturity, and like meeting people, like making friends, and like that's what the emotions get in touch with. It's just especially if y'all know the emotions that with joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger. Those were the popular emotions that I set aside within this film, and like especially like for how the movie opened, and like even towards the end, and like oh wow, even with the sequel that had more of a deeper meaning than in the first movie, because it explored a new side of Riley. Just like with the new emotions that were introduced, of course, that we have anxiety, envy, and embarrassment. And oh my gosh, I want to talk about anxiety in this film, played by Maya Hawke. I enjoyed her performance. I thought she portrayed this character in like the most perfect way, and like even with like, anxiety, which is the things that we all deal with in our everyday lives. But even with having anxiety represented in this film, and the way that it goes with Riley of what she is dealing with, fitting into a high school, and like meeting new friends, or also like have happened not being like who she is, or like having like a new side of herself, and like not being the Riley that was from the first movie, but the more drama and great deeper meaning of storytelling is explored a ton, and even just with the rest of the new emotions that I definitely enjoyed throughout the film. It was kind of mind blowing just to witness some of the powerful stuff that unfolds. And like, even for what I mostly enjoyed is that this is with Riley, who is a teenager, and like from the way that like her character is represented now, that she's off to like to start like a new life, like a new chapter, and also trying to fit in, and this is what the movie like positively represents, and like it has to do with deeper link, meaning like that was explored more than in the first movie, but like it packs like a ton more, because even though it felt like a drama, like felt even a bit more mature, which is what I think Pixar like definitely a little bit lean towards. But even what Pixar has done with the sequel, it's some of the best stuff that I've ever seen. Because even though with the first movie that was a big hit, but even for what they explored in the sequel, it was totally well done. Especially like I like how the emotions were portrayed on screen. It's like you really get to relate to that, especially as I think like a joy is definitely the highlight of this movie, because even though with her job is she wants Riley to be happy, but even with anxiety, who is like a sort of like a trying to change Riley, and to have more like a deeper meaning as a teenager, and how she like defined like a meaning of herself or what she wants to change for Riley. I feel like I think that's what this movie like explores, and I definitely like even with the emotions and the ones that are joined by Joy. I feel like they are with her every step of the way because that's what we know from the first movie that like they're always like trying to control Riley from the first movie, but even though they were always by her side, especially towards the middle and towards the end, even with like a big third act, like you really get to feel the emotions as they really try to help out. At the end of the day, like trying to make Riley who she is, but I felt tears towards the end, and it was very touching. Plus, even from the positive standpoint that I want to point out is that this is with dealing with maturity. It's dealing with teenagers. It's like focusing on what Riley is sort of becoming. Like she is sort of like like sort of like going through what every teenager goes through and trying to make new friends and like trying to like like develop like this is some sort of like thing that like Riley is sort of becoming, and I definitely like Riley more in this film because we definitely got to explore a lot more of like a side that we never even see before. And like if you even know that like I liked Riley from the first movie with growing up and having all those memories I actually cherish forever. But even with Riley in this film, like she's now a teenager and like with her like making friends and like who she wants to be with and like what friends she wants to have like along the way. And like man, like there's like so much I want to say here, but again I think families and like if you are a fan of what the first movie delivered, and oh my gosh, you are going to have tears shed towards the end of this film because Pixar packs a deeper layer of meaning than what the first movie did, but it even packs with more maturity and more drama that is more of it's a kid's film, but it definitely adds meaning. And also with the other emotions, like I liked Envy played by Ayo Debris, as we mostly know her from The Bear. Like I thought like she was great like in this role because I feel like I liked her character like a bit, and even with Embarrassment, like I mean that's something that like everyone deals with. But I just really liked how the new emotions play into this sequel and how Riley is going to deal with some sort of like meaning, especially for like what she for who she wants to grow up to be. Of course, because she's like a hockey player, but like from what was explored towards the end of the first movie, but like now it is expanded a ton more. And wow, like I can't believe it, but like, I think this is a real winner for Pixar, especially with all those other films that they put out. But even though that this is the sequel to the almost $1 billion hit that was beloved by everyone, but trust me, you will be satisfied with what this movie actually delivers. And also, I think like there's some great moments that I enjoyed, and like mostly it's about Riley just like going through change and making new friends and like trying to fit in with the others, and like it's just a sort of like this like emotional ride that we experience with her and her character development from especially as it's developed from the last movie. But even though in the sequel, like I definitely enjoyed all of the deeper meaning that her character actually delivers, and that's why I mostly enjoyed. But yeah, like it was so dang emotional. And so for my final thoughts is I really enjoyed Inside Out 2. I definitely like the storytelling and the drama and the more maturity that Pixar delivers. And yes, and I'm gonna say I think it is the best sequel ever. And even though that like this sequel is coming out almost 10 years after the first movie, but even though I loved the first movie, I liked what it delivered with Riley growing up, but now having it more explored here in this film, I definitely enjoyed it. Tears were definitely shed, and it does deliver meaning and sort of like happiness towards the end. And wow, I just felt really satisfied. I haven't been this satisfied in like a long time watching a Pixar movie, but yeah, I really enjoyed it and highly recommend it to all you guys out there that definitely enjoyed the first film as well. But so that's gonna do it for first video. But just let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you've seen Inside Out 2 or if you're looking forward to seeing it, let me know in the comments. But also if you would rate this film out of 10. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn the notification bell for future videos. Also follow all my social medias, all of which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.